here.
All right, do I got the names in the right spots? I got the names in the right spots.
Hey,
I did that part. I got new name tags for us. What do you guys think of the new name tags?
Love
Actually
the
like
new name tags.
Yeah, I think they look nice. They weren't too hard to set up, and I can change them as we need to. All right, guys. So, I've already done the intro. We're going to be talking with CaptainDark today, of course. But before that, we're just going to take care of a couple little things to talk about, a couple things in the Twitch news that kind of need to get out of the way. First off, this is more of a gamer thing. You guys have probably seen this in the chat, some of you, about Capcom's new policy on their intellectual property. I just kind of want to put the word out there in case there's anybody that doesn't know. If you're using any Capcom imagery, Mega Man, Resident Evil, whatever, Capcom games for your emotes or any kind of thing that you would sell, we kind of have to get rid of those. The TOS is pretty clear that you can still play Capcom games on streams, and you can still monetize in the form of having subscriptions on your stream while you're doing that, but you can't go as far as have something that's directly tied to the monetization, as in an emote that gets sold as a $5 subscription counts as selling their intellectual property. Therefore, that's a no-no. Do you guys got any questions on that? Anything to add to that? That's pretty much basically it. Yeah.
As long as Square doesn't come after me,
I know
I'm
a
good.
lot of people who are losing their emotes.
Yeah, it's
Right.
a shame. It's a shame. There's a good friend of ours, Dr. Mega Man PhD. I don't think he has to change his username, but he was worried about that. I think he's mentioned that on Twitter, which is kind of weird. But I don't think he has to change that because he's not selling his name as the intellectual property. So I think he's okay there. But yeah, I think it's mainly to do with emotes. I think as long as you're not using emotes or tying it to a subscriber alert or something like that, or a bit alert, I think you're fine.
God.
That's dumb. I know.
Mega Man
they have
the
the
scenes just kind of sitting there.
Yeah, I mean, as long as you're not selling it for money, it seems to be fine. I mean, they have the right to do it, I suppose. Technically,
Yeah.
It's a dick move, and I think it's a stupid move, and I don't agree with it. But that's what it is, guys. So if anybody out there is using Mega Man as an emote, you might want to think about changing it to something different. I don't know what to tell you, but other than Capcom IP. All right.
Not even just Mega Man. I mean.
I said Mega Man. Yeah, I'm sorry. I just think Mega Man. Capcom.
Right.
I think Mega Man immediately. Resident Evil. Anything Capcom.
Devil May Cry,
Yeah.
any of that.
Devil May Cry.
I get it.
Yeah, anything Capcom intellectual property needs to be avoided as far as directly tied to a sale. So if you're selling merchandise, like if you have a Mega Man avatar is your avatar, and then you have a merch store where you have a picture of your avatar on a T-shirt, you have to get that out of your merch store too. So just keep that in mind. If
I
anybody
kind
doesn't-
of, I kind of agree with that because in essence, streamers and YouTubers have been getting away with that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You got these developers and artists out here making these games or these characters and things like that, and people are just slapping them on a shirt, like you said, and it's like, hey, buy this shirt for like $20, or putting this emote in, like you said, behind a paywall, just to have a picture of Mega Man on there. I don't think
it's very.
I personally don't think that's right.
Yeah, it's very reminiscent of the whole stuff with the DMCA stuff, in that nobody was really enforcing anything to do with it. Streamers have always gotten by with it, so it's kind of become the norm. So I think a lot of people don't even consider it when they're making these merch items or they're making their emotes. They're just like, hey, we like this stuff. This is fun. We're doing this, and it's pretty innocent for a lot of people in that they're just not really thinking it through, although I think they probably should have before now. But it also goes back on Twitch, I think, for not enforcing the rules with the DMCA stuff and with the emote stuff, because emotes have to be approved through Twitch.
Right.
They see these things come through. I think they changed that rule recently. I don't think they have to be approved anymore, or maybe it's just for partners. But they at least in the beginning had to go through an approval process, and they see those characters come up and they approve them. So that's kind of something that still I think falls back on Twitch, but I still think it's not a good idea in the beginning that people do it. Just because it's always going to come back. It's always going to come back on the creator, because whatever platform is always going to throw the creator under the bus when it comes to this kind of stuff. That's just how it is.
You got to wonder too about if people make customized emotes that are based off of that stuff, but not directly. Like it's not a total. I mean, it's going to be a ripoff. If you got a Mega Man helmet, you look like you got a Mega Man helmet.
Right.
But if you could get away with it being like, this is we borrowed from that, but this is its own iteration. Can you?
So kind of like in the art style of, like we keep saying Mega Man. So kind of like Mega Man's art style, but it's not Mega Man. It's not Zero or any other characters that would be intellectual property of Capcom's.
Yeah, or if you had like an RPD flak jacket as your freaking emote or something from Raccoon City Police from from the Resident Evil. So anything Capcom. I get what you're saying, Dark. Technically, it is within the realm of their right. It is their intellectual property. They do own it. They have the right to do that. And I mean, who are we to say they can't or shouldn't? Although I'm going to anyway, because I just don't think it's a smart move, because for the same, it only benefits them in the same way that streaming their games only benefits them, in that people are still loving the characters and they're still going to want to play the games and they're still going to spend money on the games. So I don't really see the benefit to Capcom in this new ruling, but it is what it is.
And like you said, it falls back on.
And the way I'm thinking, go ahead,
Paul. Yeah, Paul, go ahead.
The way I'm feeling about it is I look at, there are these things that we talk about where it's within the fabric of pop culture. These are characters and franchises that have been around for decades. So to have things that are inspired or derived by or driven from these things, and we have them here on Twitch, let's take an emote. Let's take Pulse_XP,
right,
and his barfing Mega Man emote.
Yeah.
Seriously, it's like.
It's memetics.
If he did a sprite rip, of the actual Mega Man head and just put that there, okay, then I can see.
Sure.
But this is just something that's within the fabric of the culture of a game and a franchise we've known for decades.
Yeah, it's memetics.
And it's parody.
Mm-hmm. And parody.
And it's been rendered by another third party.
Yeah.
So there's kind of like, hey,
right.
Yeah.
Let us celebrate the franchises that you have made and that we adore, as long as we're not, straight up sticking, like Dark said, 0 on a T-shirt and then selling it,
right,
to, for our own benefit.
Right. No, I agree with that 100%. Yeah. I mean, like you said, it's in the zeitgeist. It's in the culture. That's the best way to put it. It's in the culture. It's something that, I mean, I know we don't own, they own, but we kind of. It becomes a product of the culture, in that it becomes so ingrained into it that it's in the air. I don't have a better way to explain it. Perhaps one of you might.
I think a lot of it also affects us, the four of us, because we're in the retro community, and that's a huge flagship of the retro community.
For Capcom is, yes.
Yeah, so to people out there that don't touch these kinds of games, or don't stream them at least, that it's no skin off of their back. But for people like in our group that stream all the retro games and stuff like that and want to represent themselves because that could be their favorite. Right. Shit, all my stuff's Final Fantasy inspired, and if Square ever fucking decided to do the same thing, I'd be in a lot of trouble.
Yeah,
I'd completely rebrand myself.
And they could. They could.
Yeah, So it's a scary thing to think of, but that's where do you draw the line between the company doing whatever and then us representing it? Because
the line always
for it.
the line always gets moved in the direction that goes against people being able to use these things, against the creators and things like that. I mean, for example, like you're wearing that awesome 9 Inch Nails hoodie. What happens if I'm not saying they would do this, but the record industry could say, hey, you can't use any band imagery on your clothing, so now you can't wear your 9 Inch Nails hoodie. It's a line, but I think the line keeps getting pushed in the wrong direction. And Dark, you were trying to say something. I want you to.
And I actually agree with that. The line does keep getting pushed further and further and further away from where it should be. Like you said, the 9 Inch Nails or whatever it's called shirt. Imagine you walking around and you can't, Char can't wear that shirt because it's. I mean, technically, can you? It's not. I mean, you're sure you're wearing it, but it has the logo on it.
Yeah.
And in essence, I mean, it can kind of go the same way. I noticed. I forgot who it was. I think starts with an S, but a popular manga creator or corporation or something like this started cracking down on fan art. They're starting to say, "Oh, you can't make fan art and post it on there." Well, I think that, like I said, that line keeps pushing, or like y'all said, sorry, that line keeps getting pushed further and further away. I don't think that's fair that you ban fan art. Now, selling the fan art, sure, ban it. That's perfectly fine. But just being inspired to draw the person and recreate a scene from it, that's not illegal. And posting it on Twitter, I don't think that's illegal, or any social media platform for that matter. I don't think that should be a problem. But the issue is, especially in America, I don't know, I can't really speak for anywhere else, around the world, we live in a capitalist society, which allows people with money to capitalize on things. That's really our whole foundation.
True.
And unfortunately, it sucks. So now these corporations are realizing it's like, oh, well, we got money. We could just say, hey, take this down or else we'll sue you, knowing they don't have any grounds for it. But they can make this legal battle so long, she will never get out of debt.
That is definitely an aspect of it that does suck for sure. And I mean, it is a fair point to say, though, that they are only limiting you tying direct sales to it. So we were talking about how it is in the culture. I don't think it's actually being completely removed from the culture, but it's being limited within the culture, in that you can't sell the stuff. Okay, fair point. But we do get to still play the games and stream the games, which is also very awesome. And we still can have artwork, I suppose, as long as we're not charging for it. So we could have panels, for example, in our stream that aren't being sold. So obviously you could use them there. So, I mean, it is kind of something that is not ideal, but it's not like the end of the world either, kind of thing.
I'm sure. Go ahead, Dark. Go ahead, man.
No, go ahead. I just got to do that.
I was going to say, I'm sure there's ways to get artists to do renditions of things that aren't directly, but still represent, that you can be like, it's not a direct attachment to it. It's just a representation.
Yeah. And that's just a point I was saying, that I can see kind of a devil's advocate thing. I can kind of see the point they're making, but I also agree with the fact that if you're having an artist render it and it's derivative, as the word Paul used, of their characters, maybe it's being drawn in a different way or a different light, or maybe the art style is a little bit different, or maybe the character is a Mega Man head barfing, which you don't see in Mega Man games, kind of thing. It's somebody takes an artistic license with it. I would like to see that be allowed, but it is, at the end of the day, it is Capcom's property. It is their decision, and they're allowed to do so. And we just have to do what we have to do. Unfortunately, that's a sentence that we have to repeat a lot these days.
And to be fair, at least they are, like you said, but at least they are allowing us to still stream the games. They're not taking that freedom away from us. We can still play the games on YouTube and Twitch without any problems. Because, I mean, let's be honest, a lot of these companies, they may not be their primary source of advertisement, but we're going to be honest about it, it's a big source. If XQC or Ninja or any of these creators go out here and play these games, what's going to happen? You got thousands of people watching them, and PewDiePie, millions of people watching them. Come on now. They play these games, you're going to drive millions of people to them. We can't sit there and act like that the old ways of advertisement are still king. It's not. This is the new wave currently, and it will change, just as everything does.
Right.
As technology evolves, forms come about, things are always changing. So I think personally, Capcom may have went about this in a backwards way, but they also went in a progressive way as well. So instead of limiting us to say, no, you can't do anything with our intellectual property, they at least allowed us to stream it, because a lot of companies out here.
They didn't go full Nintendo.
Nintendo.
Well, Nintendo does let you stream. I'd say they're usually known for really, really guarding their IP.
Yeah, but you can think about that on YouTube years ago when they had their creator program, right? You had to join their creator program, and they took a cut from the cut that YouTube already took. So you basically got shit from Nintendo games, period. Unless you were a giant creator at that point in time. And you notice they ended that program, and it's like, well, I think they seen the backdrop from it. Like, let the creators have the freedom. I understand, as a business, they don't want other people making money off their intellectual property. Why would you? You design something, you create something. You don't want nobody else making money off that. I get it, but at the same time, especially when you got bigger creators out here playing in their games, it drives. I feel like it drives a lot more sales, and it's not really harming their money. Just because people watch it doesn't mean they won't play the game. So there's been plenty of times I've gone to YouTube and like, man, let me see what this game is like. I watch a little bit of it, and sometimes I've watched the whole game, and I still go play the damn game myself, because I want to sit there and experience it for myself rather than sitting there watching a video.
Right.
It's not the same. Yeah. And I think companies need to weigh their options when it comes to things like this.
Well, a lot of gamers do. I'm like that. I find a lot of games I want to play by streamers or YouTube videos or watching content creators play the content and actually enjoy the content and get that that empathetic feeling through them of enjoying the game, and then want that for myself, and then go and buy the game. So yeah, that's precisely your point was spot on. I mean, that's exactly what it is and what they need to recognize. And I think Capcom does recognize that to a degree in the fact that, like we've been saying, that they are still allowing us to stream it. I don't know. I mean, is it going too far to take away the ability to have emotes with the imagery on it if it's derivative and not directly taken from the thing? I don't know. I kind of don't like it because I want to be able to do that, but at the same time, I think we need to take into account what could happen if we don't abide by that, right? And do what needs to be done. I don't know what other way to put it. Yeah.
I think gray area.
If you think of it in terms of this, and I'll be devil's advocate now. I'll be Capcom right here. If you took a video, or we made a video, or you did some artwork that you made that you were really proud of, and remember, we're small time. We're not Capcom.
Sure.
But if someone took a photograph of a beautiful landscape, and you were super proud of it, and you showed all your friends, and you showed all these people, and then this person took that and sold it without your permission.
Yeah.
You'd be pretty bent, about it.
Yeah.
But again, we're looking at it as we're small time people. Like no one's gonna buy my picture. It's my fucking picture I took,
Yeah.
But somebody would love it enough that they would buy it.
Right.
But then somebody else is making money off of your work.
It's more like though, and I see that point, but it's more like you took a picture of this beautiful mountain, let's just call it a mountain, and you took a picture of this beautiful mountain, and then somebody else says, I like that, and then they went out and took their own picture of the same mountain and sold their picture that they took.
Right, and that would be fine because the mountain is everybody's thing. But
it is different in that we're not talking about an intellectual property thing. I kind of see that point. Yeah, a mountain isn't owned by Capcom, so yeah, I guess that's a good point. What's up, Dark?
To be like the devil's advocate.
I know, no.
Dark.
I got a question for Paul. The hell's in that cup? It looked good.
It's I'm guessing tea.
No.
It's like peaches.
No. It's
urine?
No, it's just what you found my power.
Say he's been sitting at his computer a long time.
It's recycled Gatorade.
Oh God.
No, it's just water with that crush concentrate syrup.
Stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, I still had some of that left over from my birthday stream when I made the Ecto Cooler.
Is that orange slices? Oh no, those are the ice
clone.
cubes. I thought that was orange slices for a second.
Nah,
that's ice cubes. Right.
Nice.
That's what water looks like in California.
Nice. Very good. All right, cool. So, hey, Paul, we had the only other thing we kind of talked about in the meeting is you had something. You were talking about something to do with some follow bots or something. You want to talk about that a little bit?
So I think everybody here in the chat, everybody here who's on camera, can understand that Twitch has been having a bit of a difficult week.
To say the least.
I don't know if somebody spilled beer on the control panel at Twitch.
Ecto Cooler.
I believe that.
Yeah, but something went amiss, and they've been having problems. Well, because of all that's been happening, there is a grassroots effort of sorts for these people with accounts. They go in and they follow, unfollow. And to a worse extent, sometimes even make new accounts with really inappropriate names that don't quite hit the TOS.
Were they using slurs or anything like that? Or
they say again?
Were they like using slurs in their name, or I mean, don't give specific names, but were they
things like your mom's dead baby and things like that?
Oh,
just go like,
yeah.
Come on.
Shock, edgy bullshit.
And
yeah.
They're doing it so that there are more reports going into Twitch. This is their form of protest over Twitch's problems that have been happening.
Yeah.
I know that our channel got hit with about 10 of those unfollows. One of our mods got hit with something similar. So it's this stupid thing that I can see why they're mad.
Of course.
But there's other ways to do it other than
I'm mad for the same reasons.
Content like that.
Yeah. Yeah, more than that kind of like, I don't want to call it vandalism. It's not really vandalism, but kind of, well, it's trolling really is all it is.
Well, Well, it could be called vandalism in the essence, and digital vandalism. Just
well, it's not permanent, but yeah.
No, yeah, it's not permanent, but it does mess with like your analytics and stuff like that.
That's a good point. Yeah,
I would think anyway.
Maybe a little bit. Yeah, it could.
It's definitely weird. I'm looking saying, hey, we had like these 10 new followers. None of them chatted, but we had 10 new follows. That's kind of cool. And then at the end of the stream, they were gone. I'm like, well, Vert the Ferg. And I looked up one of them, and there was this dude with his friends that were streaming who are evidently against all that and were actually putting all of those people's names up and saying, look out for these people. If you see them, report them.
Mm-hmm.
And that stream where they were trying to, figure it all out, there were like 100 people watching that. So there's a lot of folks dealing with it.
Yeah, I saw somebody, I can't remember who, somebody tweeted something about that. Now, I haven't experienced that firsthand, so I don't know that much about what's going on with it, but it sounds like people are pretty irritated about a lot of things going on with Twitch and in the world, understandably so, and I share some of the same grievances. But I don't think that's, like you said, I agree 100%, that's not the proper way to go about it, by fucking with other people. But, if you got a grievance, you take it straight to the source, I say. But, if you really want to say something and vent about it, start a podcast or do a YouTube channel, tell your story, man. Say what you got to say, put it out there, but don't fuck with other people's shit. That's just ridiculous.
Get it on a bandwidth that's actually going to have an effect, not on our little stream.
Yeah. Start a YouTube channel, go viral, and get your word out there. That's what you need to do. Stop fucking with Paul's channel.
Paul's channel.
I retweeted Paul alone.
Let somebody please leave Paul alone.
I retweeted something on Twitter about that. I don't know if that may have been what you've seen, but because I know your timeline is a lot different from mine.
Well, sure. Everybody's, yeah.
Right. But I did retweet something from the Mellow Fellows team leader, and they put out a PSA kind of stating the same thing. He was like, there's people using XQC's name and stuff like that, and they're going around following people or rating or hosting people with 500 followers and stuff like that, or people with things like that, and then they're disappearing, like as Paul stated. They said be on the lookout, and I think he put out a few names. I have to find that tweet again, but he put out a few names as well to kind of ban ahead of time. That way you don't have to worry about that, because I know you can. I think you can stop raids now from certain people.
Can you? I didn't know you could do that. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
I am so behind the times with all the Twitch features.
Showing the club.
I know the features from 3 years ago when I started, and I don't really pay that. I mean, I keep up a little bit, but I don't keep up as much as I should.
Still sending outgoing live notifications via carrier pigeon.
Yeah, that's.
I know that is
Send a Raven. Send a Raven.
I got to put the fire out in the back because
that
smoke
family games is coming. Yeah, smoke signals. That's good stuff. Good stuff.
That's one thing I've noticed. Like you go live and you've been live for about 10 minutes, and it's like, hey, this person just went live. I'm like, well, fuck, they've been live for 10 minutes.
Yeah,
right.
They ain't just go live.
I've had people come in like 3 hours later that are like, we didn't see you went live.
We didn't see you. We didn't get a notification. Yeah. Not everybody's in the Discord, so they don't see it. But Twitch glitches have been aplenty lately. Let's just say that.
And that's my thing. I'm wondering, and that's what makes me wonder. Like, are they migrating to a different server? Are they migrating the infrastructure from whatever the hell they were using to possibly AWS, being that Amazon owns Twitch now?
Yeah, that's a good insight. Possibly could be that.
That could cause a lot of outages, especially if you don't know what you're doing, or you just I don't.
Well, see, I wonder if they're changing features. I mean, they're changing TOS and stuff like that, and if they're adding new moderation tools in, or if they're adding new block lists in, or stuff like that, because they're really going to be cracking down on the moderation thing coming up pretty quick. Well, they're already starting to. Let's just face it. We're not going to get into the whole PogChamp thing, but we know it's a thing. But yeah, I mean, they could be, adding things to keep that kind of stuff down. They could be just adding new features. They could be migrating to Amazon Web Services, like you were saying. I mean, it could be any number of things. They could be getting DDoSed. All these people doing all these raid and unraid and follow and unfollow stuff could be putting undue stress on the infrastructure and could be causing that. It could be a number of things. This is all speculation, of course. I don't know shit about what's going on.
We're talking about IT stuff here. There's 1,000 things.
There's a million different things. It could be just a bug in the code. Who knows? Yeah.
Now, if they are migrating to AWS, if they haven't already, which I hope they haven't already, that way we can at least hope that AWS, if the architects that are doing this will be better at it. Hopefully they can do like the whole thing with the going lives late, or sending out going live notifications late. Hopefully that fix that. And nothing's going to be instantaneously, but hopefully it can go out at a decent time.
Yeah.
A minute, that's fine. Up to a minute is fine. But you talk about 10 minutes, that's ridiculous.
Right.
3 hours, that's ridiculous. I remember when Bud, about last year or the year before, since it's 2021, Bud took that hiatus, and but before that, I was getting his notifications hella late. Now during the time Bud would go live, he would go live right before my meetings, but sometimes I wouldn't even get the notification, so I wouldn't even know he was live until I got back to my desk, and I'm like, wait a minute, I'm bored as hell. What the, like, shouldn't I be doing something?
Yeah, you even
else?
mentioned
Like,
it a couple times, like I never got the notification. Yeah,
I'm like, I never got the notification. Now I go click on Bud's channel. I'm like, dude's been live for like 30 minutes to an hour, depending on how long my meeting went.
Yeah.
I'm like, why the fuck didn't I get shit?
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there looking and looking and looking. Then I get it all late as hell. I'm like, I'm already in the fucking
It's
thing.
one
Fuck
reason.
off.
It's one reason it's good. And I know I'm not the best about this, although I've gotten better. It's good to keep a schedule if you can. If your IRL schedule allows you to keep a consistent Twitch schedule, that's an advantage to that. Is if people get used to the routine and they know you go live a specific time every day, they probably don't even really pay that close attention to the notifications. But yeah, my big thing has been with Twitch has been all my chat going down every fucking stream. 5 times in a stream, my chat will disconnect, and then my bot won't react after that, and I don't know what the hell's going on. And it could be related to all this Twitch stuff. And truth is, we don't know what the hell's going on. I mean, it could be the stuff we talked about. It could be a DDoS attack, denial of service attack. It could be, I mean, I'm not going to list what all it could be because I don't fucking know what it is. I just know Twitch has got major issues right now, and I'm sure they're working on it, and hopefully they find a fix for us soon, because it's to say it's ridiculous would be the understatement of 2020 and 2021 so far.
It could be like what Paul said too, and someone just fucking spilt their Zima on the goddamn
Somebody
thing.
spilled their Zima on the control panel. Yeah. They took down a Fox affiliate.
Oh my god, my tongue's orange.
Gross. Gross.
Turning my tongue orange.
Alien. It's aliens. Paul's an alien.
They got their fruit roll-up tongue over there.
All right. So I think that's good. I think we got through all that. I think it's time to talk about why we're here. Really, let's talk about Captain Dark.
Hold on.
What?
Oh my God!
No. Let's see what we got here. Since we're talking about Captain Dark, there's a little rivalry we got here between Chardmuck and Captain Dark. Has he got the book? Has he got the book? What do you got there?
Is that the ultimate?
What do you got there?
Woo!
Go ahead. Let's go.
Oh my God!
Oh! See, there's a rivalry. In the square beneath me, Final Fantasy guy, and the square to my left, Captain Dark. Wait a minute, my left, camera left is Captain Dark. I called him Captain Dark today. I didn't screw up your name. Notice I've been working on that.
Yeah, I know, right?
Okay, so Captain Dark is you're a real huge fan. I guess we're just going to get right into the Tales stuff, because I know you're a big fan of the Tales of series.
Yes.
I don't know, is that kind of where you started your streaming career, or how did that fall into you getting started on Twitch? Did that have anything to do with your start on Twitch, or is that something you kind of went back to after you had already started because of your love for the series?
No, actually, no. I did not start with the Tales series.
So it wasn't a focus at the beginning.
I think the first game I ever streamed was Bloodborne.
Oh, nice.
It's the first game I ever streamed.
Yeah.
Nice.
So yeah, I think I started off with Bloodborne. I actually, this guy, I was on Twitch, and this guy was playing Bloodborne, and he was inviting chat to come in and join. I was like, hey man, can I join? He's like, yeah, you got a PlayStation? I was like, yeah. He was like, put in. He just sent me a password like via DM and stuff like that. He's like, put in this password to join us. I said, hey, bet. And it kind of jump started it from there. I was like, yeah, there we go, yeah. But it kind of jump started from there. The way I got into the Tales series actually started from watching Traz, that Aussie guy.
I didn't know Traz ever played Tales. Yeah.
Yes, Traz
did.
Traz started. He did Fantasia, Destiny. He started Eternia, and then his life turned into like chaos. He said, so he had to stop doing that. So he started going like back to the retro games that he's playing now.
Right.
But he got me into it. Actually, I played Tales beforehand. Don't get me wrong. The very first Tales game I played was actually back on the PlayStation 2. I actually emulated it. It was Tales of the Abyss. I loved that game. And then from there, I played Tales of Celia, Graces. I never played Vesperia until recently. Then it went to Zestiria. Then it was Berseria. Well, Berseria was actually well after. I'll get to that in a second. But yeah, that's how it started. I watched Trash play, and I was like, man, damn, this game looked kind of fun. I was like, wait a minute, let me try Tales of Destiny. So I did Tales of Destiny, not knowing that Tales of Destiny was not the very first game.
I was going to ask if you played them in chronological order. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know Fantasia was actually the first one until after I got done with after I got done with Fantasia, actually. But I started with Tales of Destiny as far as streaming goes. I started with Tales of Destiny. Then I went to Fantasia. And then I started this little rivalry between Trash, and I was like, man, I want to beat these games before fucking Trash does. So I started going to the games. I'm like, I'm going to beat these games before Trash does. I made it past Destiny or Fantasia before he finished Destiny. Okay. Then I went to Eternia. When he got to Eternia, I've been waiting for him to play Eternia for the longest. Right. But when he got to Eternia, that's why I can say he quit. But after that point, that's when I really started to pay attention. I loved the series when I played it, but I really paid attention to Eternia. That was like my favorite. That's my favorite one. Oh, okay. Abyss has a favorite place in my heart. Don't get me wrong. That game is love it. But Eternia, out of all gameplay, story, artwork, all that music, Eternia. Nice. That really sparked my love for the Tales series, and I was like, whoa, this game was on what system? This was like on a fucking PlayStation 1. Right. Like, what the hell is this? They're beautiful. And I missed this? Yeah. I fucking missed this? You know, and I've always been a fan of JRPGs. I started off with Star Ocean 2. That was my very first RPG. Star Ocean 2 was my very first. And from Star Ocean 2, we went to Final Fantasy X, as we talked about in Charmunk segment. Yeah. But yeah, I can't believe I missed the Tales series back in my youth, but it's fine. I got to play it now. But from Eternia, what are you about to say? Go ahead. No, I was just going to ask you, but I didn't know. I thought you were reaching the end of what you were saying, and you can finish what you were saying. But I was just going to ask you, what is it specifically about the Tales series that really grabbed a hold of you? What was it? What was the first, like, kind of, other than Traz playing it and you seeing Traz play, what was it about the game itself that kind of drew you in and grabbed your attention and kind of locked you into that series as being so integral to your game playing lifestyle as it has been? I believe I was playing an RPG, as I normally do, at a time. I just got done. I can't remember which one I was playing, but I had just got done with one. And I was just looking for other ones to play. And I was like, I looked through all the systems that I could think of. I was like, man, I didn't really want to emulate the Genesis, so I didn't play Phantasy Star, and I didn't go through to play Shining Force. I love both of those games, by the way. Right. I didn't really feel like emulating. So at that point in time, I was actually into really heavy, and I still am into actual playing the games on the actual hardware, because I want to see all the problems with the game that you sometimes don't see when you're emulating games. Yeah. You can't beat the real hardware experience. Yeah, go ahead. I know, right? Yeah, right. I love it. But what really drew me to the Tales series, when like I said, I was watching Traz. I saw him playing Fantasia. I didn't get to see the end of it. He was actually doing a bonus dungeon. I heard the music, and I was like, I heard, no. And I was like, whoa. Hey. So I popped up. I'm laying on the floor during this time. I popped up. I'm like, wait a minute. What the hell is that? And I'm like, hearing it again, because that game is very battle heavy, has a fuck ton of that encounter rate is ridiculous. But I'm sitting there hearing it again, I'm like, wow, this sounds good. And then I seen the battle, the way he battled, it was like real time rather than turn based. I was like, wait, I get to attack by myself. I get to press the buttons and actually attack. I feel like if I'm in a real time battle, I get to, like I said last time, I have to be more tactical. Sorry. You have to think quicker. You have to really be able to react. I can't just go, I got time to think. Let me sit here for a minute. Like, Charmunk likes. Yeah. They Final Fantasy series. Yeah. I'm just saying. So I got to run around hitting buttons and stuff. Yeah, he's got to just read his Final Fantasy book. I know, right?
Just call me if you need me.
Yeah.
But I seen that. Then I seen the art style, and I was like, man, this is, because I think Trash was actually emulating it at the time, so it really looked good to me. And I was like, wow, this is amazing.
That's what I noticed first when I saw it. Yeah, was the art style. So it sounds like the music really grabbed you first.
The music grabbed
you
my
heard the
attention
music,
first.
and then the game mechanics kind of kept your interest a little bit, and then just the eye candy of the beautiful art style and the visuals is really kind of what was the kind of thing that kind of just latched onto and kind of held you into it. Am I on the right track?
Yeah.
Awesome.
100%.
I've got Tales of Zestiria. It's on Steam. I got it pulled up right now. I'm watching the video for it. And if me not knowing a lot about it, just watching the videos that they have on here, I'd be on this in a heartbeat.
It's
like
really beautiful.
It's beautiful. I mean, it's revamped and remastered, so it's got kind of the new Dragon Quest looking artwork to it. But it's still like, this looks cool as hell, and I'd be totally on board for trying it out. Awesome. If I hadn't already known, about it. I mean, I still want to, but
if you were looking at it through a new person's eyes that's never seen it,
I can totally see why it would attract anybody to it, because especially an RPG or like CaptainDark, I would definitely. It looks great.
Yeah.
The thing about Zestiria, it has a bad rep. On the PlayStation 3, I think that was where I played it at first, or was it the 4? Either one, it was one of them. I think it was the 4 actually. Yeah, it was PS4. It has a bad rap because it has it can have camera issues from time to time. Now I played it again back on PC. I didn't really have that same issue, and the camera's not as bad. But a lot of people look through things through rose-colored glasses, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So they kind of want to see the older Tales, like what Tales used to be, instead of seeing innovation. And me personally,
nostalgia glasses. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, I want to see, I want to see some innovation. I don't want the same stale that gets stale.
Right.
If you see that,
yeah.
Nobody wants to play the same. You're basically playing the same game over with new characters and maybe a new story. It's boring as hell. Bring something new to the table, and I believe Zestiria did. And if you go from Zestiria to Berseria, that brought even more to the table, even though Berseria is the prequel, but that's just because it came out afterward. But Berseria is the prequel to Zestiria. And I personally, if anybody's ever interested in playing those two, if you want to do order of timeline, do Berseria first.
Just going to ask, what's the order of these guys? Because I'm always interested on how the story actually flows out. Mm-hmm. So I was actually going to ask you that.
So you don't necessarily want to play them in chronological order then?
Right.
Okay.
They don't all link together.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Not every Tales series game.
Is it like Final Fantasy, in which each one is kind of its own standalone
it's
story?
Kind of its own standalone story for the most part. You got Tales of Fantasia. It's a different story from Tales of Destiny. Tales of Destiny does have a sequel, Tales of Destiny 2, but it was only made in Japan, or only released for Japan. Unfortunately, it's saddest. But it actually follows, Tales of Destiny 2 actually follows the story after Tales of Destiny 1. They have kids, and you're following their kids. But that's the sequel, obviously. And then you got Tales of Symphonia. Then you got Tales of Symphonia Dawn of the New World. That's also a sequel. And then you have Berseria and you have Zestiria that follow each other as well.
Okay.
But if you're going to play like the newer ones, I guess you can call them newer ones, Berseria would be first as far as timeline order would go.
Mm-hmm.
Berseria would be first, then Zestiria, if you're interested in playing those two.
Okay.
Play through Berseria, you'll see what happened, what led up to the events of Zestiria kind of starting, and then Zestiria will kind of finish it off and stuff like that. You kind of see how there's reoccurring characters.
Okay. Now you said, go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, you said Tales of, I think it was Eternia. Is that the right one? Was your favorite, or was it? Or
yeah.
What is it about that one especially that you really love?
Being on the PlayStation 1, I think it really captured that eye appeal at first. And then hearing the music was kind of second, because I looked at it first. Mm-hmm. That's the way I went into that one. I looked at it first because I think I had an expectation that the music was going to be good, but I didn't know what the art style was going to be like for each of these games. Yeah. So eye appeal caught me first on Eternia. I definitely, I mean, if anybody was here for the clip reel, the starting to be right, or whatever it's called, I don't know. If anybody looked at that, you can see Eternia. Actually, you'll see Eternia on there, and that's one of the Tales games that.
This is like the airships that in the clip reel, the airships you were on?
That one's Symphonia.
That's Symphonia, okay.
So the one that's Eternia is the older. You can tell it's the older one.
Okay, I know what you're. Okay.
The wood. You got the wooden. You're in a house.
Right.
but you see the wooden floor on there.
Yeah.
It's about the best way I can describe it. You got that on there.
Yeah.
Then you see, like Bud said, you see Symphonia, which has the re-arts, which is it used to be, I think it was in Fantasia and Destiny. I could be wrong. I know it was in one of them. But one of them, you got the birds and you got to fly around the world. Oh man, that was so awesome. That's why I geeked out when I got them.
Look at the childlike joy that he has right now.
I love it.
I love it too. You see, that's why I'm smiling so much. I'm enjoying every second of this. Yeah.
But you see,
he is giddy. I love it.
Me too. Yeah.
Man. But you see the re-arts reoccur in Symphonia, and I never played Symphonia, by the way. That was actually a blind playthrough. Symphonia, I tried to play when I was a kid, or when I was not as a kid, but as when I was a little bit younger. I tried to play, but I couldn't get over the fact that the voice actor, the main character, Lloyd, is aka Robin, the actual Robin from Batman.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's actually Robin from Batman. So I forgot the voice actor's name, but he's Robin. That bothered me so much. But when I started on that journey, after I started that rivalry, and then I made it a goal to myself that I said, I'm going to play all these games. I have to see what each of these games have to offer. I forced myself to play it. I started it. Now I did start it twice. I had to start it on the GameCube, and it looked like shit because the filter effect is like a Vaseline smear.
Oh no, I hate that. Yeah.
I hate bleeding watercolor.
Right. Yeah.
But I found out it was on PC, and I was like,
okay,
holy shit! I built this badass PC, and I ain't playing not one damn PC game. What the fuck am I doing?
There you go, man.
So I started playing Legendia. I played Legendia. Oh, that game is weird. That one is weird as fuck, but I love it. It's so fucking corny, but I love it. You got like an Elvis impersonator in there and everything.
Oh,
but it's funny. I like it. It's a real good game. It's kind of off of it because it's not the same Tales of team that developed the rest of them.
Oh,
okay. But it's still a good game. Don't get me wrong. I think it's worth a try. I like it.
Right.
But I played Legendia, then I went from Legendia to Symphonia, and I was like, damn, why the hell didn't I play this game before? I said, this shit is actually good. And that's when you see me geeking out over the re-arts coming, because I'm like, damn, these appeared in the older one. I'm like, right. Oh my God, birds came back. Are you fucking serious?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And speaking of reoccurring things and tales, most of them like to have a Coliseum-like thing. And not, some of them have Coliseums. Most of them have Coliseums, actually. And some of them have bonus dungeons. And you go to the bonus dungeon or the Coliseum.
Mm-hmm.
And at the end of some of those, you fight a character from the previous tales.
So this is gladiatorial type fights you're doing in the Coliseum, or
kind of like what's it called? A gauntlet, I guess.
A gauntlet.
You go through a gauntlet, and then at the end you see a character.
Okay.
And I believe Tales of Xillia 2, you had I believe Crest and Stan from Destiny and Fantasia show up. I thought that was so neat. I think it was 4 characters actually. So I think Rudy showed up as well, and I believe
oh wow.
Not Archie, Rudy and Mint. Rudy and Mint showed up, I believe.
How did that make you feel to see those characters from the previous game show up in that game?
Though, seeing the actually going back and seeing the characters and knowing what they went through brought a huge joy to me, because it's like, damn, I played as these characters. I know what the hell they just went through.
You had made a connection with them in another game, and now you're seeing them brought back. Yeah.
Yeah, like in Zestiria. I'm gonna just spoil it here, but 2 of the characters that it's not really a spoiler, but you just kind of know who. I won't say what happened.
Right.
But you have Sophia from Tales of Graces, and you have Jade Curtis from Tales of the Abyss. Those 2 show up in which one is Zestiria?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, those were like my childhood right there, especially Abyss. Like I said, Abyss was the first one I played. I still love it, and when I went through and replayed it again, I had issues with my PS2, but I still had fun with the game.
Nice.
But yeah, those 2 characters showed up and just blew me away, because Jade is like one of my favorite Tales characters ever. If you play the Tales of the Abyss, you'll find out why.
Okay.
Guy's fucking legend in the Tales of community. But yeah, seeing those characters show up, it's amazing, because you, like I said, you go through their games and you're playing their games, you're like, damn.
Mm-hmm.
And even with they even do things like costumes. You can dress up as different characters in Vesperia. Kratos shows up from Tales of Symphonia. He shows up as in the Coliseum after you got to do like bonus dungeon and stuff like that. But he shows up in the Coliseum as a fightable character. That shit was fucking crazy.
I bet,
but
dude.
You also get to dress up as Ash from Tales of the Abyss, which is what I did once I figured that out.
Now, does it change anything if you dress up as other characters, or is it just cosmetic changes?
Sometimes it actually can. In Tales of
like, would one player be more aggressive towards a particular character if you dressed up as them, maybe, or?
No, nothing like that happens. It's more like the background music will change. So like in the Zestiria, back to Zestiria, I dressed Zavid into Luke's outfit from Abyss, and it gave me the Abyss battle thing. So of course, when I heard I was like, oh hell, I said, I'm keeping this shit on. Fuck that. I'm keeping this shit on. I'm not taking it off. I'm keeping it. I love that battle thing. I'm not taking this shit off.
All right, one last question. I'm gonna let the other guys ask the question, because I feel like I've been asking all the questions. What advice would you give somebody who is going to play Tales for the first time, other than which game to start with, like any kind of lore advice, or background lore they should know about, or any type of mechanics or anything they should be prepared for, or what kind of advice would you give to a new person that wanted to dive into that series?
If you're playing the older ones, be prepared to get pissed off.
Okay.
That's about the best advice I can give it.
Can confirm.
I got tilted as hell playing the first. Huh?
Pissed off about what?
You'll get salty about the first of all, the encounter rate is very high in the first like 3 games.
Old RPGs,
the encounter rate is ridiculous. And like Chart said in his last section, he was like, Fantasia, at the end of the game, you have all this shit, and then you go out there and you ain't got shit, and you can't go back down, or you can, but nobody really wants to walk like that. So you got to kind of plan everything, but that's not to me. So if you like a challenge, play the older ones. The newer ones kind of go easy on you until you unlock like chaos mode or something like that.
Right.
But for people who are into like the retro games and stuff like that, or the retro scene at all, play the older ones. I think you really, really enjoyed it. Those are fantastic JRPGs. For anybody new, I know you said besides this, but
you could put that in there too. I was just trying to get you to add on to that a little bit. Yeah.
Right. But if you really want to start, if anybody wants to start with the Tales series, period, I think most people are kind of into the new thing. So I would say start with Berseria. But be prepared when you go from Berseria to Zestiria, being that Zestiria, unfortunately, is the older game. Yeah. So the mechanics that are in Berseria are like, it's like buttery smooth.
Right.
And
but you're in a retro podcast, so you could recommend retro games if you like. But you said
right.
Yeah.
But I think if anybody wants a middle of the road Tales, like good story, good artwork, good mechanics overall,
something that's easy to enter into. Yeah.
Something easy to introduce. I think Tales of Graces would be a good start for
Tales
anybody.
Of Graces. Okay.
Yep. That'll be a good start for anybody. It's on a PS3.
Okay.
But it's a good entry point. The fight mechanics are actually pretty good. You can do a lot of stuff in there.
There's no Steam release of that one then?
Man, I wish.
Okay.
I was looking, and there's only like Zestiria, Symphonia, Berseria. Yeah, Berseria.
Okay.
Arise, only 3 or 4 of them.
Okay.
Yeah, those. Now Arise is hopefully coming out this year. I know it got pushed back due to COVID. So Tales of Arise will be the next entry into the series. I can't wait to play that.
Nice. Is that going to be on the next gen stuff, or actually their current gen now, but the PS5 and Xbox Series X and all that stuff?
I think they said every platform: PS5, Switch, Xbox, PC.
PC. Nice. Very cool. Very cool. And that comes out when?
They haven't announced the date.
They have, because of the COVID pushed it back, but they haven't announced the new date yet.
Yeah, they did say it's going well. They're near the end of development, I believe, and so hopefully sometime this year at the QC and all that other stuff.
Keep an eye out for that for sure. Right.
Oh yeah, you already know.
Yeah, I know you will. Well, I met everybody else, but yeah, I know you will. Of all people,
I'll be one of the first people there.
Yeah, you'll be in your tent outside the Blockbuster.
I'm calling out work. Hey, I can't come in today.
I don't know. Do people still go to Blockbuster? I don't know. Fuck it. Or not Blockbuster. I said Blockbuster. I meant Best Buy.
Best Buy. I still go to Best Buy.
Does everybody go to Blockbuster? No, bud. It doesn't exist. Oh, that's right.
There's only one left.
They had the one left. There's the one left. Yeah. All right. Cool.
How many Tales games are there, CaptainDark?
There's actually a lot.
But like 13 or 16 or like how many?
There's like I believe there's a total of 16 mothership titles.
Okay.
16
of course,
total
and then
mothership titles.
there's always the franchise, the spin-offs and stuff. It was funny you were mentioning the nostalgia aspect of the game, where you would play the next one and something that you were totally in love with came back out, from another one. I love nostalgia shit like that. Final Fantasy 14 does the same thing with their mounts, and when you're riding in the mount from whatever game that came from, you'll get the theme music of like that character.
Oh, that's cool.
So when you were talking about putting on the guy's outfit and the music kicks in, I was like, dude, I got the mech from 6 and Terra's music starts up, and I didn't walk anywhere. I just rode around in the mount and I just listened to music. I didn't do shit for like 3 hours.
I would do the same thing. Yeah.
I was like, that's the same shit, and I love that aspect. And that's another thing that makes me want to play Tales is once I learn the order or I learn the people in it, watching the connection of those people come in. I think that is top notch. I love that shit.
I wonder if they got retro achievements for some of the PS1 Tales entries. I
believe so. I heard they do.
They might. I mean, they have a lot of freaking PS1 games on RA now.
I don't think Fantasia had one yet. When I did it, they didn't have one, but I think they're working.
It can be requested. Cool. Very
If you want to, I have an actual list charter. Anybody that's interested,
please DM me DM me the lineage or I mean, it doesn't have to be the order because of course they're not in order because they're their own little worlds. But I'd love to know like what the best route would be.
Or maybe we could post that in the Discord for everybody. Maybe other people might be interested in. Yeah, the BCTV podcast or the BCTV. Discord, I should say, and you can just type !Discord in the chat, guys, and you can see what the link is.
Do that.
Yeah,
I personally did mine in release order. I don't know why. I just felt like doing them in release order when I did it. Sure. It turned out to work the best way because just due to the fact now knowing what I know, like how the characters show up and stuff like that, or what appears, and you kind of see where everything came from. Music. You'll even hear like in the newer Tales titles where they got their inspiration from or which game they kind of went back and pulled inspiration from. I heard some in Celia 2, which I had never played before either. I played 1, but I never got to play 2. And I picked up some of their stuff. I was like, whoa, wait a minute. Hold there. Hold on. It's just like Char said, he sat there or just ran around for hours. I purposely got in battles just to hear fucking Tales of the Abyss theme song.
I'll tell you, I'm going to say one thing right now. I don't know shit about the Tales series, but I love watching and listening to you talk about it. I know that much. No, I really do. It's the passion, as Paul was talking about, the childlike joy that comes across your face when you talk about these games. It's precious. I love it. All right.
Absolutely.
Paul, any questions?
It's a heavy one to put at the end, but I want to ask you, man, what's it like being retro streamer, a content creator who is also, I look at you first as a content creator, but you are, I don't know if we have anybody in here who is listening blind, but CaptainDark is black. What's it like being a black content creator, especially nowadays when with everything that's happening? We've had people in the chat talking about how things are so heavy lately.
Yeah.
How have you navigated being a creator, navigated being on Twitch, navigated, playing the stuff that you play, being the world that you grew up in and the world that you live every day?
That's a good one. I think I have to thank my mother first. My father kind of bailed on us. I think a lot of kids know, as far as in the black community, a lot of fathers tend to disappear at childhood. We're just not going to get that. I'm not going to go that deep into it. We don't have the time for that.
But do whatever comfortable, man. No.
It's fine. I'm not worried about my side, but trust me.
Say what you want to say. Don't say what you don't want to say. It's on you, man. Go ahead.
Right. But my father bailed on us as a kid. Made up some bullshit story about having to leave out of state because the judge told him to. But in my mind, the way I see it, especially now having a kid, he never said. Even if he did say that, I don't believe it, especially not in this state. I think Bud can attest to that. This state is pretty crazy about like parents being with their kids, even fathers more so or less. But he never said don't talk to your kids, regardless of what the judge said. He didn't say don't talk to your kids, but that's what he did. He didn't speak to any of us. There's a lot of us out here. I have a lot of brothers and sisters. Some of them I don't even know about. But anyway, with that being said, my mother did a lot of she worked a lot of overtime hours, and I think that right there helped me grow as a person. So I had to like take care of my sisters. I kind of learned responsibility really early. She started off as a CNA, and I noticed how hard that job was. And then she went to school, became a nurse, and I know how hard that job is. And when I became 17, she told me I had to get a job, or else I wouldn't get shit else. So I was like, well, guess I got to get a damn job. So I said, well,
did. Yeah.
I told my mother I didn't want to flip burgers. I said, I'm not about to go to McDonald's or Burger King. I'm not flipping no damn burgers at all. I'm not. I know obviously you didn't say it like that because I'm still alive right now.
Respect your mother.
Right.
Respect Mama Dark.
Right. Yeah, respect Mama Dark. You're right.
You got to do that.
But she told me I had to get a job, and she said there's a lady at her job that she was at the time that was teaching the CNA class. So I became a CNA, and I did that for about 5 years. That taught me about a lot of hard working as well, backbreaking work. But it also taught me how to deal with a lot of conflict, a lot of situations as well. Because as a CNA, you're in charge of you're in charge of other people's family members' lives. You know, you're cleaning people every day. You're making sure they try to get better and stuff. And some people you just kind of look at it as it's sad.
It takes a special person to do that work.
Yeah, you know they're not going home. And then we're going to get the elephant out the room. You know damn well that you're cleaning people that used to be able to clean themselves. Yeah. You got to do their own functions. So you kind of think of it on a deeper level like this is sad. Now as a 19-year-old, 17, going on a 19-year-old kid is about when I started thinking about that.
Wow.
And I realized I didn't really want to do that anymore. And plus, it's a field dominated by women, which is not the problem. But my personal experience, they called on me a lot. I didn't like that because when I asked for help, a lot of them wouldn't help me. You know, and I'm like, damn, my back is all fucked up because of that. I'm a young kid and my back is tore up because of that. So I moved on from there.
Yeah.
I did school a couple times. I went to Full Sail. I went to AIM as well, which is Aviation Institute of Maintenance, for the airline industry, to become an aircraft mechanic. Me and Chart talked about that at one point. But at that point, I ended up with having a child. The mother of my child had seizures. That also taught me a lot too, how to handle a lot of stressful situations and things like that. So as far as like being a content creator goes, that all helped me develop and learn how to kind of ignore a lot of the stuff that goes on. It's not to say I don't notice, but I don't let it affect me. But I have had some issues. Don't get me wrong. A lot of people have came to me and said, DMs and said, hey, I would follow you. You're a great content creator, you know, and said, I love your stuff, man. But you're black. It's like, and you'll see me post about it on Twitter. I'm like, well, whatever. Okay. Whatever.
They said they really say that to you, huh?
Yeah, they actually say stuff. It's crazy, kind of some of the stuff. And even as a small content creator, because I don't get to stream often, especially with my life being so chaotic right now.
Right.
I still get stupid shit like that. But I can't let it. My mother taught me, and my grandmother also as well. Grandmother and mother taught me one thing: don't let dumb shit like that bother you, because it'll hurt them more if you don't let that bother you than it will you if you let it.
Right.
Well, they want a reaction.
They
want that reaction.
It's going to create hatred and festering and heart. I don't need all that in my life. They don't bring nothing but negativity in your life. Just, and I'm not perfect. Don't get me wrong.
Nobody is.
I try to take that in stride. You know, I look at it and I'm like, whatever, block. I don't care, or I'll just leave it there and don't even bother me no more. And I'm like, and sometimes I even use it as motivation as a content creator. But the way I
it can drive you, I would imagine. Yeah.
Right. But the way I kind of navigated around the Twitch world as far as to get where I am today, I have to thank Gracker221, because
great guy.
He was a big help in
there. I
love
Gracker. Yeah.
But I got to thank you as well.
Stop.
I got to thank Lee as well. They've all, and Trash.
Lee Clips. Lee Clips. She's amazing.
Trash has really been great as well. And I know this all didn't go too well, but I got to thank DGDS, and I got to thank what was the other name? Retro Block Party.
Yeah, Retro Block Party. Yeah.
I have to thank them.
I have fond memories of both. Yeah.
Right. So I have to thank
very
them.
Fond.
Chart was actually one of the first people that I think reached out to me. He's like, I've never seen you before. I looked at your channel or something like that. I don't know if that was actually him, but I know he hit me up at one point. I think I deleted the message because we weren't even speaking at that point.
Right. I definitely hit you.
The event type thing, and I was like, whatever. But Char was one of the first people that actually contacted me and said, "Hey, man, I really like what you are and what you represent. Did you want to come in?" And I'm like, "Yeah, sure. Why the fuck not? I actually don't mind." I came in and did DGDS. I fucking loved it.
Oh, Char recruited you to DGDS. Awesome.
Yeah, I believe Char was one of the first people, one of the few people that, one of the two people that actually hit me up.
Yeah,
I think it was him and Nielsen.
Yeah.
Him and Nielsen.
Yeah, me and Alex both.
I love Alex. He's a sweetheart.
Yeah, that was good, dude.
They both hit me up and like, I was like, man, that made me feel good. I was like, man, I remember telling, even though we're not together, I told the mother of my child, I was like, hey, and I ran to Mama Dark. I was like, Mama, I'm part of a charity event. She's like, what? That's cool. And I was like, I told her, Mama, I was like, look, I'm part of a charity event. It's gonna be this day, yada yada yada. She said, you for real? I was like, yeah. So I'm part of a charity event. I said, look, I can't wait. This is my segment. This is the time I'm going to be here. I said, I get to help raise money for this, and that. What they helped me kind of grow a following. I hit a slump as well. I stopped streaming. I think I had internet issues with Spectrum. Oh God, 10,000 frames in like 2 minutes were dropped, and I was like, I'm not very streaming no more. Ugh. Yeah, I was like, yeah, I can't do this. And in other streams, it wasn't that severe, but I still couldn't stream as well. I was like, man, this shit is ass.
Oh, that is
so. Ass. Speaking of
ass,
yeah, right. but I stopped streaming, and kind of Gracker, Lee, and kept me in high spirits. I actually didn't know Bud at this time. Yes, I did. I just met Bud.
We just met.
We hadn't really conversated.
Yeah, because we kind of met through DGDS, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, that's where we met through. That's when I followed you. I was like, hey, hold on, this guy's cool. Same with Chart. I followed Chart, and I really went to Chart. I'm gonna be honest with you, but I really went to Chart's stream, even though I like his content. I just really went to his streams.
It's hard to go to everybody's streams. Yeah,
it's difficult.
It's impossible.
To cover a lot of ground, honestly.
And to be honest, I missed a lot of Paul's streams just due to time zone differences in Paul's.
Right.
Sure.
I try to show up and I'm like half sleep or some shit. I'm like, fuck. And now I feel like an ass because he shows up and I'm half asleep. There's really nothing I can do. I'll take ADHD medication now, so it's even worse.
Right. Does that make you drowsy?
Yeah, it makes me feel drowsy.
Yeah.
So I sleep a lot, or I get tired really easily.
Sure.
But yeah, I have to thank a lot of the support system that I have, especially, and this is a big one. Like I said, Lee's real big on that. I've had nights that I told y'all about that where I've thought about committing suicide due to my situation. I'm gonna talk about this on stream because I'm comfortable with it. I have thoughts about that. I just had a lot of shit going on between me and the mother of my child and family in general. And Lee was one of the people that was normally up. Everybody else was either asleep or busy with family or something like that. But Lee was always up. So I would hit Lee. I'm like, hey, Lee, can we just talk? And Lee was like, yeah, do you want to play Stardew? And I'm like, sometimes I'm in the mood to play Stardew and other times I'm not. And I'm like, I just kind of want to talk and vent a little bit. And she's like, okay, that's cool. And then other times I'm like, yeah. Sometimes I'm like, am I in a mood to play Stardew? And I'll play it, and I'm like, damn, I'm glad she made me play Stardew because it calms my mind. I hear the music, and it just chills me out, it relaxes me.
Right.
So
it's a chill game.
It's kind of it depends on the moods I'm in. But Lee is there a lot, and I try to be there for her as much as she is to me because I want to seem like an ass about it. I truly cherish Lee as a friend. Mm-hmm. Like I cherish Gracker. I even text Gracker from time to time. I hit him up and say, hey, how you doing? Things like that. Gracker, this is a good support system as well.
Yeah.
I was actually there when I wasn't there, but I was around when he got married.
Yeah.
I remember finding him when he only had like one follower. I was playing Earthbound Beginnings. what's it called? Mother 1. I was playing Mother 1 and he was playing Mother 2.
Oh, yeah.
So I rated him and went to his channel. And I noticed his attitude. I said, man, I love this positivity he's shooting out, So I started going to his channel every day. I'm like, hey man, what's up? I told you I'm coming back.
Gracker's one of those people, man. He's just super supportive and he loves people.
Yeah,
he is an awesome guy.
Right.
Yeah.
But he told me when he was geting married, I was excited for him. I was like, hey. He told me when he was having a kid and everything. I was like, hey.
I remember that. Yeah.
He sent me a picture when she was born. That meant a lot to me because that showed me where I stood at as his friend, even though we have not got to meet in person.
Mm-hmm.
They showed me where I stood at as his friend. His wife is awesome too. Mrs. Gracker is awesome as well. and I'm on the level with Gracker that I even know his name.
Okay.
I know his name. I know his wife's name. And they trust me. I think that's really awesome. But that kind of support system actually helped me navigate. I know I rambled on, but that support
you're
system
fine, man.
actually helped me really navigate Twitch. They really, all of y'all really have taught me that I really shouldn't be worried about my skin color in this. That I just need to be who I am. And as far as like,
absolutely.
It is a little tougher as a black streamer, don't get me wrong, because I notice a lot of people they don't watch me. And that's not to say I got other issues too, like I don't stream as often, so I know my scheduling is all jacked up. The games I play, there's a lot of different factors that go into that, but I know part of that factors is something I can't control, which is obviously my skin color.
Yeah.
Because even when I'm playing high games like that, like Bud, I'm gonna just use you as an example. This is nothing towards you. No, but I noticed I know Bud would play a game. Let's say Bud plays a game, right? Bud can get 30, 50, 100 viewers, right? And I'll probably get about 5 because they'll look at me and like in disgust. I had to think about that. But they'll look at me in disgust, and I'll notice it because of Streamlabs Chatbot. So I'll see new people come in with Streamlabs Chatbot, and they'll just dip. Now, at first I accredited it to this, like maybe my personality is shit, or maybe I'm doing something wrong. It's a stream bad. It's anything. I was thinking everything else but my skin color, and I was like, man, hold on, this is like almost everybody's feeling that way. And then once I start getting the messages, I started putting 2 and 2 together. I was like, oh, so it is my skin color. So it's not maybe it is my personality for some. I'm not going to please everybody.
Right.
Maybe it is the games that I'm playing for some. Yeah. That's the nature of Twitch.
Yeah.
But to hear or see that my skin color is a big factor if you watch me or not, if I let that eat up at me, then my mood would just go to shit. My personality would just go to shit. I wouldn't be who I am. A lot of people tell me my laugh.
Yeah. Your smile too.
Really draws them in.
I fucking love your laugh, man.
I love your laugh too.
Laugh, it like lights up a fucking room, dude. It's hilarious.
I think that's one thing that puts me out there as far from different creators, especially in the JRPG world. That's a big world in the Twitch community.
Yeah.
It's oversaturated. Let's be honest. It's oversaturated. But I think that laugh is that one thing that makes me stick out. If I don't use a camera, I notice I even get more viewers if I don't even use a camera, which is sad to say. But if I'm using a camera, my viewership drops. Now that's not gonna stop me from using the camera. I already got the equipment. It's too late. I'm gonna use the damn thing because I got it. But
no, you do you, man. You keep doing what you're doing.
But I noticed that does happen. I don't get as many viewers, and I've been recently playing Final Fantasy X late at night just because. Yeah. Well, that's just when I play it. I don't know. I just feel comfortable now. Yeah. Or I just can't sleep, so I'll play it. But I don't use the camera that late at night because of the windows and stuff like that that I have in this office. So I don't use my camera and stuff like that. I just play the game. You know, Lee will join me, and my buddy will join me and stuff like that. They'll be in the chat. You can hear them sometimes. But I notice my viewers will go up. But if I turn on the camera on, now I'm at like 3 viewers, 2 viewers, 1 viewers, and stuff like that. I'm like, holy shit, this is crazy. This is sad, you know. But
yeah, I don't know what to tell you about that. I hate that that's in the world, man. I really do. I wish I could wave a magic wand and make that shit go away. And unfortunately, it does seem to be a reality, even today. You know, I would say that viewer count outside of race can be multifaceted. It can definitely be, you know, game choice. It could definitely be, you know, not having a consistent schedule and things like that. But when you start saying things like I turn my cam on and then my viewer count drops, it's hard to account for that using things like game choice or schedule. So I think you could work against that with those things, because for every dickhead that's like that, I would say there's probably that many more that aren't. But, you know, I don't know statistics, but man, that's heavy. It is heavy. And I hate it. But you're a wonderful person, man. And I love you to death. You're one of my favorite people on Twitch. And everybody out there needs to follow CaptainDark, especially if they want to hear anything about Tales, because he's the guy to talk about.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
How can we tell? No, I'm fucking with you. I love you, man.
I want to play them more.
Yeah, I want to play them more after hearing you talk about them. Yeah.
I kind of go with an approach. It is what it is.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do me. I'm gonna keep doing it. It is what it is.
Kind of a stoic attitude about it, which I respect that.
My brother, Mischievous Light, will he actually watches my streams a lot. And I see, looking over here at chat, I see my sister in the chat as well. Cherry Blossoms, as Bud saw earlier.
Cherry Blossom, who was CaptainDark when I saw Cherry Blossoms.
Yeah, I was over her. I was fucking with Bud. I said, I'm about to fuck with him. I know he ain't gonna know who I am. But Cherry Blossoms is my real life sister. She's actually my full blooded sister. From same mom, same dad. We are
okay.
And Mischievous Light is technically my half brother, but we don't really have any half brothers around here. It's brother and sister. That's it.
Yeah.
But we are half siblings, regardless of same father. But Mischievous Light, he comes in. He's dude is funny. I think he's even funnier than me purposely. And if we get together, it's all hell breaks loose.
Is that the guy here on your Discord sometimes talking with you?
You probably hear King in my Discord.
King. That is King. I've heard King. Yeah, King's pretty funny.
King, yeah, King's a nutcase. I can't trust him. King's a nutcase because he'll say some off the wall stuff that, and he don't mean no harm. But
right.
I know in the Twitch community,
yeah, you gotta be careful.
Yeah, so poor. But he never means no harm. He don't mean no harm.
No, of course not. No.
But like I said, Cherry Blossoms and Mischievous Light are both my siblings. Mischievous Light is actually my oldest brother. Cherry Blossoms is, I don't know where the hell she sits at in the girls because there's so many girls. But as far as our father and our mother goes, she is the second child. I'm the first.
Okay.
She could tell you about how it was crazy growing up and stuff like that, and how we just kind of, like I said, we kind of had it hard. Our mother was a single mother and really didn't make much money. It is what it is. We had to just kind of do what we had to do. There's been plenty of nights we had like go for what you know night. I love those nights though. That's the funnest because you get to go in the kitchen and make whatever the hell you want. I go in there and find some shit, put it together, mix it up. And, hey, I got me a nice little.
Get creative.
My sister did the same thing.
Yeah, nice.
But they're a big supporter too, especially. That's awesome. I'm actually the closest sister, and that's not to diss any of my sisters because I love them all. But I am closer to Cherry Blossoms than I am to Sister Dark number 2. Let's say that. Yeah. She's the other sister from my mother. But I'm closer to her than Sister Dark number 2 and the other ones. I'm closer to. I used to be closer to my other brother, but we kind of split. We had a little issue, so we split apart. But I am closer to Mischievous Light than my other brothers at this moment. That's not to say that won't change, but
sure.
Mischievous Light, he does show up a lot, makes me laugh. Dude is silly. I mean, dude is silly. Matter of fact, but in that clip, that was a setup.
That was him. Okay. Yeah.
That's right. Yeah,
okay. I don't think I ended up using that clip, unfortunately, because I was more wanted to focus on you as the creator. But yeah, that was a funny clip. I enjoyed that one.
Yeah, like that was him.
Okay.
He's like I said, he's a whole goofball.
Nice.
Them two, and of course my other family members are actually part of how I kept going, or how I keep going. Even if it's just them watching, I don't care.
Sure.
Because growing up, and I think this is probably really how I got started streaming in general. Growing up, I always had like my step siblings, and my siblings will always watch. If I'm playing a game, they're normally watching me play it. Mischievous Light always watched me play Final Fantasy. Always.
Nice.
He watched me play 10. He watched me play 13. He watched me play 12.
Is he into Final Fantasy 2 then, or he just likes watching you play?
Somewhat. I actually kind of introduced him to the series. I don't really think he played too much of it as of yet, though.
Okay.
I think he started 10, but didn't really get to finish it.
Well, not wrong. Some people just like to watch those kind of things, and nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. Same with the Tales series. He was interested in that. He's like, he would ask me what's going on in the series all the time, and I've always liked that. So I think that what really drove me to streaming for the very first time and kind of falling in love with it. Because like, damn, it's like back in the day where I had my brothers or my sister sitting here watching me play the game, and I'm sitting here explaining everything to them. I love that feeling.
So you're talking to a camera though, and you're getting that same feeling as you would get sitting on the couch next to your siblings and discussing and answering their questions. That's really awesome. I like that.
And despite how young I am, I've actually played a lot of older systems. I have played a lot of older systems. I actually started out playing on the NES. and then went out
the NES.
from there. The first console I ever owned though was a Genesis.
Okay.
But I started playing it because I have
good console.
My god family. Yeah, my god family was he always had Mario Brothers.
Oh.
Who didn't back then?
Right.
You know, on the
yeah,
NES,
Mario Brothers. Yeah. I love Mario.
So I played that a lot growing up. That kind of drove my love for gaming as well. Nice. Actually, I think I was like my mother said I was about 2 years old or something like that when after she first got me into games, because that's what would keep me still. Like I said, I'm on ADHD medication now. But I couldn't sit still for nothing. But games would actually sit me still. She noticed I would just sit there and play games. So she would use that as a I wouldn't say as a tool, but that's what helped. Like it was a.
It's something that you could focus on, and something that you could have and capture your full attention. Yeah. And it could help you even learn focus, I would imagine.
Yeah. If you do your homework, you finish your homework, then you can play the game. So of course I'm gonna finish my homework. I'm about to go play a game now. You're sad, play a game. I'm gonna play the game.
That's
I'm
good
about
parenting.
to play the game. I already know all this. I was just lazy as hell.
Yeah, she knows it. And your mom works in the medical field. She's a nurse, right? I think you said, right?
Correct.
Right. Yeah. So she would pick up on that kind of thing through her training, even. But as a mother, even more so.
Yeah, she's a LPN frontline worker. Actually, she ended up, and she's a diabetic.
Okay.
She actually ended up having COVID. I'm thankful that she did survive and was able to go back to work.
Good.
But during that time, I loved it because I had a love-hate thing going on. But I loved it because during that time, she actually showed up in my streams.
Oh, yeah.
I had to censor myself the whole time.
Right. Oh, mom's watching. Mom's watching. No F-bombs.
But she did show up in my stream. Like every time I was streaming, she was there. She was there.
Well, that's good,
that was like the best feeling, and she supported me in every way possible. So I had a huge support system, and even now I got a nice support system. Not only do I have y'all, and including the mods like Lee and Gall and Solid that I could go to if I have anything.
Best mods on Twitch.
It's been an amazing journey. I love it. But Reaper Death 45, I know some of y'all have seen him. If y'all been in my streams anyway, some of y'all have seen him in the chat. He's a mod. He was actually one of my first mods. Dude has been, as far as coming to like streaming quality and things like that, dude has been amazing. For the guy that don't stream, the dude knows a fuck ton.
He's just a tech head, huh? Is he a tech head? Does he tell you tech tips and stuff like that? Nice.
He knows a lot. He codes and does a lot of shit.
Yeah, I think I've seen him in your chat before. I think I've chatted with you and him before.
Yeah. He set up the drive.
Right. Okay. Oh, the drive. So, that's where I know the name. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. He's the one that set up the drive. Guy's great. He's an ass, but he's great. He comes in and picks on me all the damn time.
Those are the best kind of friends. Those are the best kind of friends.
Usually, though, aren't they usually?
I'm talking with 3 of my asshole friends right now that I love very dearly.
I get them back all the time. So, like, recently, I think he put in Discord, he said, or his little status, he was like, DM equals slap. I said, where's my slap at? So he actually sent me a gift of slapping.
Nice. All right. That is so awesome. Dark, it's been a pleasure talking to you. We're actually well over, but the conversation's been going so great, I went ahead and let it go over. We did have one viewer question come in that we'll go ahead and answer that, and then we'll go ahead and do some closing thoughts, and then we'll go ahead and close up for this episode of the BCTV Podcast, which has been a hoot, as it always is. We got a question from from Crackwither for CaptainDark. He asks, how long has CaptainDark been doing retro streams?
Ever since I first started streaming, I was doing retro streams. The only thing that drove me off the retro streams themselves was the Tale series, literally. Because I was doing retro, actually, I was doing a lot of retro beforehand.
Sure.
After I got done with Bloodborne, I started doing a lot of retro stuff, especially after watching Bud.
Right.
The only thing that pulled me off of it was just playing the Tales Up series. And I got so stuck in that and loving that series so much that you see me do a lot of.
Well, Tales is like Final Fantasy, and then it spans from retro into the modern. Well, lot of, you can say that a lot about a lot of game series, but yeah, it's one of those that does that.
Exactly. But there is a couple new series I will be trying. Trails in the Sky. I noticed they got older games too, so I will be going back to retro pretty soon after.
Yeah. A lot of guys that do retro also do modern. I started out doing that too, but then I decided along the way that I was going to focus only on retro when I started doing the retro achievements. But a lot of Charty, he does modern games as well as retro. Paul, they do some of the modern games like Hollow Knight. Starry Nick was playing some of that.
Oh, that is fun.
Yeah, Hollow Knight. I want to get Hollow Knight. I need to get that. That looks like a great game. But yeah, okay, great. So, Dark, man, it's been a pleasure talking to you. I love you, buddy. Any closing thoughts? Anything you want to say to the folks before we sign off?
I hope everybody goes and plays the Tale series.
And go follow CaptainDark. Go follow CaptainDark.
Yeah.
If you want to learn about the Tale series, I'm going to give him another shout out in the chat as we're talking. While I'm doing the shout out, Paul, Charty, you guys got any closing thoughts of your own?
I want to know how far you got in Bloodborne, personally. That's what
Me?
I'd like to know. Yeah, you.
Oh, I finished it. Oh, yeah, I finished it. DLC and
Damn
everything.
it. Like the only person in the world that hasn't finished a goddamn game. All right, noted.
I just want to say thank you to Dark. I mean, dude, you were so open, you were so honest. You scream heart and love for all these things that you're involved in, be it gaming, be it your family, be it, also the way that you discuss mental health. And so I want to say I've got a lot of respect for you, man. And so thank you.
Ditto.
Thank you so much.
I second that.
Really.
Yeah.
I respect you and everybody in this podcast that's been involved with it. I got to say right now, CaptainDark, it's been amazing working with you. Paul, it's been amazing working with you. Chardmonk, same to you. Our amazing mods, Lee Clips, Gall 416, and of course, or is that right? I always get the numbers wrong. 416 and MTG Solid, who are all in the chat now, manning the chat. They are so wonderful. They've been a tremendous structure to this endeavor that we're still learning as we go. And it's just been an absolute pleasure. This is only our second episode, and I feel like we're old hat at this already. I feel like we're so comfortable with each other, and we have such a great banter and such a great connection. It's just so natural, and I
Next
really...
week we're gonna screw it all up.
Well, yeah, I'm going to screw it up in the next 5 seconds, probably, knowing me. But no, it's been great. I can't tell you how much of a pleasure it's been doing this so far, and I look forward to the next one. I look forward to every one of them. I was scared to death going into this, and you guys, just by being amazing, have alleviated so much of that, and I actually just can't wait for Sundays now, just so I can hang out with you guys primarily, and also just hear your stories. And CaptainDark, your stories were amazing. You were a wonderful guest. I loved every second of it. And I'm going to say CaptainDark one more time, CaptainDark, because I don't want to say your name wrong like I did last week.
Right. One last thing before you finish off. If you haven't followed me, definitely follow me, because I owe MTG Solid a game in a goddamn Stormtrooper helmet, and I don't like Star Wars. I know that may throw some of y'all off. I don't like Star Wars. But I did tell Solid I owe him a damn game in a Stormtrooper helmet. So at some point, I will be doing I can't believe I'm saying this, but I'll be doing a game in a Stormtrooper helmet.
It better be a Star Wars game and a Stormtrooper helmet.
I think we missed a question. Hold on.
What's that?
I was watching.
No. If it's LB, I answered it on DM. So
it's good. LB, so LB's taken care of. Okay, cool. I just didn't want anybody. I didn't want anybody to get left out. I didn't want anybody to get left out. All right, guys, I think that does it for this week's episode of the BCTV Podcast. It was a pleasure. All you guys out there at home, thank you so much for watching. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for the questions. Just thanks for all the support and love. We love the retro community. We love you guys. It's been an amazing adventure. We're going to be back here next week, next Sunday at 6 p.m. Eastern Time, where we are going to feature That Family Games. And of course, all three of them are invited to be on the episode, as well as the kitty cats. So
we get to poke them.
Yeah, we get to poke them. Yeah, there you go. And it's going to be a lot of fun. If you guys are just joining us, or if you missed the episode or whatever, we will be posting this on YouTube in 24 hours from the start of that. So 6 p.m. Eastern Time tomorrow, it'll be on YouTube, as well as uploaded to the major podcast platforms. So if you're on like Stitcher or Pocket Cast or iTunes or Spotify or any of that stuff, you can find us there too. But yeah, we're going to go ahead and wrap it up. It's been wonderful. We'll see you guys again soon. Love you all. Take care now. Stay with me, guys. We'll see you all soon.